What is up, guys? Ryan here with my beautiful wife.
You're going for brownie points.
No,
Tiffany.
so Tiffany, we literally got in this argument before she started. She had these beautiful earrings on. She had her hair all pulled back. And she's like, how does my hair look? And I said, oh, your hair looks great. So as we're like testing everything, right, making sure it works, she's like, I don't trust you. And then she took it all down. But you looked great.
Because it was the way you said it. I'm like, how do you like my hair? It's, it's up in a ponytail. I don't wear my hair up in a ponytail very much. And he's like, it's good. It's nice.
Men know that if your hair's in a ponytail, good things are about to happen.
Okay, whatever.
Something guys know.
I'm gonna leave that. I don't know.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is up, everybody? Super excited to have you here. Thanksgiving week. This is like my favorite week of the year because this is the only week that we close down the business and we
not supposed to work.
And we are not supposed to work. We do family stuff. However, I knew that the live stream was very important to Ryan, so we cut our little family vacation a little short.
Cut it in half, basically. So we've been...
Yeah, well, we'll resume after this, but...
Yeah, we've been vacationing for the weekend, and then we came home just for the live stream, just for you guys. Came home for it, and then tomorrow the vacation will start up again.
Because it took Ryan like 3 hours to set this up.
You guys don't know how much work
and then, like 3 minutes before, after we've already tested it like 50 zillion times, he's like, I gotta get this to work. So, yeah. But we went to...
Hold on. Let's see who's on here. Hey, thanks.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
EDC TV. So, Jimmy, what's up? Joe, Jason Akers, good to see you, man.
Can't share it. Yes, if you're in the private Facebook group, you can't share things out of the private.
But make sure you share this live stream. We've got some awesome, amazing stuff.
We do.
Go to YouTube. And you can share the stream from YouTube. That's interesting that you can't share from the...
You can't share, because it's a private group. You're not supposed to see who's in that group or what they're posting. A private group. So if you could share
I didn't realize that Facebook understood what privacy was.
Yeah, well, good one. But just really quick, we're giving away this nutsack. Yes, that is right. That is the actual name. See? Nutsack. So, but it's a super nice bag, right?
Computer bag. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it can be like it's like a crossover bag. I mean, it's really good, and especially for Christmas time. It's made of top grain leather. Like
it is definitely very, very high quality, which is something that
made in America.
It is made in America. Yeah.
So very cool bag that we're going to be giving away at the end of the live stream. So you have to stay for the whole thing for your chance to win.
And you have to share. Okay, what's the other thing we're going to give away?
What? Oh, they.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And we're going to give away this range pistol starter kit as well. So it actually comes with eye protection, ear protection, barrel cleaner like a bore snake, and then the range bag. So a sweet little giveaway, which again can be a wonderful Christmas gift. So just stick around till the end and we'll be giving those away. So Ryan and I went to, I probably shouldn't clap in the mic, but Ryan and I went to Westgate Ranch. Is that what it's called? Ranch?
Something like that.
It's like a dude ranch. I didn't even know that it existed, let alone in Polk County, of all places.
Yeah, so we realized on the way home from the trip that we went for vacation. Like, you're a redneck when you go on vacation in Polk County.
Polk County. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we went there, but it was really cool. They had like a rodeo and bull riders. And
it was
the kids
so much fun. But so out of all the fun stuff that we did there, the best thing is that we
share it. So you go and
we rented a golf cart that we drive around from the thing. Hey, thanks, Joseph from Life in Perspective.
Thank you, Joe.
We rented this golf cart and we just drove around the property, which the property, they must have 1,000 acres or whatever.
It's 1,700.
Oh, 1,700 acres. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot. We just cruised around on the property for most of the time. They had all this cool stuff, rock climbing, fishing, buggies, airboats, but all we want to do is take turns riding the go-kart, which is hilarious.
The go-kart was definitely the best thing. Like, no, not a go-kart. Why are you calling go-kart?
Golf cart. I'm sorry, a golf cart, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was, a golf cart, but it was so awesome.
Second coolest thing is they had a petting zoo that just was a lot of fun. Goats, and they had a deer that would just come and, like, lick your face and stuff. Very friendly.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then, what were you going to say to the other one? Did you already talk
No,
about
that's
the
it,
video?
pretty
Okay.
much.
It was really good vacation.
It was a lot of fun.
I would definitely recommend it. And the room was kind of cute too. It wasn't
Yeah.
that expensive.
Very nice. Yeah, it was very nice.
So
Yeah, and Grady Judd, you
super
really
awesome.
can't beat Grady Judd. How do you turn that off?
1 second. That's
Yeah.
the live chat.
Okay, so as soon as Tiffany gets back, we'll get started. You guys
back.
seem kind of muted on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we'll figure that out. We have to be very cautious and talk really into the mic.
Yeah, it can be
So
too
why don't
loud,
I-
and then it can be too quiet.
Why don't I
So
listen
you
for
might have
just
to
a minute?
turn up. Yeah, Grady Judd is cool. He did do some gun stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, I
Didn't
don't
he-
know. Let's not talk about it unless we actually know
Okay.
100% what
Yeah.
he did or
Well,
didn't do.
You did know though,
It
like
doesn't matter.
3 weeks ago.
All right, so what's big in the news today? So first up, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
You guys all remember Kyle Rittenhouse. Just posted his bond, got out of jail, and the media and everybody on social media, people are losing their freaking minds
Right.
at the fact that he got bonded out of jail. So in case you guys don't really remember, I put together just a quick little clip of, what happened. So he was at the protest in Kenosha, allegedly there to protect some businesses. This is where that first shooting kind of happened. Lots of gunshots. Sounds like somebody shot at him first. And this is him running to the police, getting chased and attacked by a mob.
Right.
And I mean, this would be a scary moment.
Oh,
for anybody.
yeah, that'd be really scary because there's a lot of people running at
A
you,
lot of
and
people,
you're yelling,
dudes trying to
and-
hit him with a
yeah.
skateboard. And that last shooting is the one that I find to be the most comical because the dude is already pointing a rifle at you.
Right.
And you're going to swing on him anyway? Are you
Right.
a moron? Like you're pretty stupid. So anyway,
Yeah.
Kyle posted his $2 million bond, which
Yeah.
is insane.
2 million. That's crazy.
The funniest post that I see on social media is that people are calling it white privilege.
Okay. Well, they gave him that's a huge bond.
$2 million is
They did
is
that
a
on
big deal.
purpose because they probably figured you're not going to get $2 million. Right?
Sure. Well,
So
I
they
mean,
did
so
it.
you got to come up if you hire a bondsman, right? You got to come up with
10%.
200 grand,
Yeah.
right? So 200 grand is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
So I get some money poured in, like some different celebrities and people have put
Sure.
money in, and now they're the My Pillow guy.
Oh yeah, the My Pillow guy.
yeah,
How
and
much
people-
did he give?
I
Does
don't
anybody
know.
know? Because I did see that last minute, but I didn't get to click on it, and I'm interested. I like the My Pillow guy.
I like him too because he has a cool story.
Yeah, he was addicted to crack. Yeah,
He then came to Jesus, turned
Yeah.
his life around, and now he's
overcame
a
it, and now he's
huge success,
he's killing
right?
it. Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, but everybody else is making excuses that they can't succeed in America.
Right.
Interesting.
So, so he did the $2 million bail, which is, that's a big deal.
Is that white privilege, though?
No, I don't think so. I know I'm going to get some hate here. The Kyle Rittenhouse thing for me is I understand that it was self-defense. I can see that. But I was thinking in the bathroom when I was putting my makeup on.
Were you naked?
No, I wasn't.
okay.
I had a towel on.
Okay.
But I was wondering, you said that you would be proud if that was Lincoln. But
I'd be proud, but I'd also be pissed.
My question
right?
to you is, I know his mother drove him there. I know if you ask me, would I drive, drive my son there? I absolutely would not drive my son there. And I was wondering, just hold it. I was wondering if you, as a dad, if Lincoln came to you, at 17 years old, he's good and proficient with a rifle because we already know he's going to be. He's already now. And he has a good head on his shoulders. But would you let him go?
I would say it depends. So the story that I hear is that Kyle was asked by a friend that owned that business for help to defend it. So I told our friends over at Universal Jewelry Pawn and Gun Range, I said to them, they were sleeping there during the Tampa riots.
Yeah.
I said to them, I'm 10 minutes down the road. If you guys need me, just call me and I will come
Okay,
here.
but you are a 37-year-old grown man.
Okay, but if Lincoln was 18, he'd probably come with me.
17.
If it was
I'm
that bad
asking.
at Universal that I had to go,
No,
and
okay,
Lincoln
so,
was like, I'm
okay,
coming,
and I get that.
then we would go.
So go with you.
Right.
Would you send him by himself?
Probably not.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
Because
ask.
just so all of you know, I was a moron at 17.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm asking
Yeah.
because, and I understand that you were in the military. Lots of guys go and fight in the war, and I'm not saying, I can understand that part of it. I'm just
Make sure you
saying.
keep talking into the mic.
I'm just saying, is that something that, like, I think that they made a couple mistakes there, and I don't believe that it was actually a friend that asked him. It was more like a friend of a friend
Could have been.
kind of thing. So he didn't know the owner directly, which I think kind of changes the scenario a little bit, but.
Yeah, I don't know. So a couple people said, what is she talking about? I never know.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he wasn't protecting himself in self-defense. I get that part. They came to attack him. I understand that 100%. I am not, I'm not on that at all. I totally agree that he was protecting himself from those other guys. I was just asking if you thought that he should be there. That's all. That was my question.
No,
so,
I agree.
do you think that he should be there? But
I think it's a very hard thing, right? Like, I don't want my kid to go die in a war, but you're also very proud that they're willing to go fight and defend for our freedoms.
Sure.
Right? So, I mean, it's a catch-22.
And the reason I'm asking this is because that's what people are arguing about. That's what people are saying.
Sure.
He should have never been there. So that's why I'm bringing up that topic.
Yeah.
Right? Is that, do you think he should have been there? It's kind of a friend of a friend. It's not like it was his business. If it was his parents' business, I would say flat out, I totally get it. I totally understand. It's his parents' livelihood.
One of somebody that I know from social media, and we spoke at an event for him on election day. I saw him at a gun store, and I just said, hey, man, what's up? Good to see you. And he said, we're all ready for tonight. I've got my body armor. I've got my carbine, and we're going to be in Tampa.
Because they own a jewelry store, was it?
No. This is somebody from that group. Remember the group I
spoke
at?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And he said, you should come. And I already know my personality that's not a good place for me.
Right.
Because I already am a little bit of an aggressive personality. Mm-hmm. I'm a smart ass, and I would say if they were protesting or rioting, I would say some smart stuff to somebody. And it would just escalate it. So that's not a good place for me. Maybe you can go, not a good place for me to be.
Right. Yeah. And that's, for people to discern. Now, some people that have a very calm demeanor, that's fine. But if you know that you're kind of that aggressive personality, it's not a good time to.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Put a comment down there below. Would you let your 17-year-old kid go to a protest like this? Put a comment.
The other thing is, we know that these protests, or riots, whatever you want to call them, we know that they can turn bad very quickly.
It's both.
Right.
Okay. So there are protests. And then when you start burning shit, it's a riot.
And looting and breaking things and, doing all that crazy stuff. But, I wouldn't want my kid in that because I know how quickly, and there's a lot of people.
One of our, I probably shouldn't say who it is.
No, don't
One
say
of
who it
our
is.
close friends, we've known them for a decade. When the protests were first starting here in Tampa, called Tiffany and said, does Ryan have any body armor? My daughter wants to go to the protest, and we're just worried about her.
Yeah.
Listen, if you think that you need body armor to go to a protest, you probably shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Right?
I know what you're saying. Yes. And she's probably the same age. Yeah, 17.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
All right. So here is the second story. So this is a Florida man who was just tragically killed by the police. Mm-hmm. Now, when this stuff happens, we don't always have all the information right away, which is why I try to reserve and not comment on
wait
it
a little bit.
too quick. But this happened in Leesburg, Florida. So this guy's name is Andrew Scott. He's 26 years old, and he works at a pizzeria. So he got home from his shift. Him and his girlfriend were watching TV, kind of playing video games and hanging out. At 1:30 in the morning, they get a loud knock on the door. And you guys know those loud knocks when you're not expecting it, right? Yeah. It really, that sounds like an AK. It really catches you off guard. Right. So they ran. They're putting clothes on because you're not dressed. You're just dressed in your house kind of stuff, right? So they're putting pants on. Somebody banged again. Boom, boom, boom. So he grabs his 9mm pistol, goes up to the door, opens the door with his right hand, and in his left hand, he's holding the pistol. What he didn't realize is that there were 6 sheriff's deputies on the other side of that door who opened fire, fired, I believe, 6 rounds into Andrew. 3 rounds hit him, and then he fell back, stumbled onto the couch, and then died a few moments later.
So don't they, when they bang, don't they announce themselves?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last time I've really dealt with the police coming to our house. Have the police ever come to our house?
Not like that.
Not like that, I guess.
But I thought they usually announce themselves when they bang.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, Hillsborough County Police or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So here's the question then. Okay, if somebody bangs on your door like that, even here, do you open the door at 1:30 in the morning?
I probably wouldn't. I would yell through the door and say, "Who the hell is it? What the hell do you want?"
Yeah, and I'm already on 911 like 15 minutes ago.
But you're just a panicky person.
And changing my pants because I pissed myself.
Yeah. So now they said that this guy, you know, a lot of you are probably saying that he should have just looked through the peephole.
So they're saying, yes, they do. They're supposed to.
You know, they said that this guy did not have a peephole in his door. So, you know, that's
Police
fine.
open up. Yeah.
But I still would flip my outside light on.
Right.
And I would be yelling and saying,
like,
who is it?
Right.
Who are you? What do you want? And then
Right.
even when they said they were the police.
Okay, I'm calling the non-emergency then, and I'm verifying.
That's an option. Or, you know, looking through the window and verifying that it is a police.
Well, if you don't have a
seeing
window.
some police cars outside.
Right, sure.
I would want that, right?
Right,
'Cause that's
before
very
you just
odd.
open the door.
Is it ever smart, leave a comment down below, to answer the door with a firearm in your hand?
No.
Is that ever the right thing to do, to answer your door with a gun inside of your hand? Comment down below.
I would say, so can you, if you have like a door like ours, can you open the door though and have your hand behind the door
Sure.
where it's not noticeable? People can't see it.
What's hard about that, though, that kind of scenario, is that the police, their number one thing,
Is
right?
to see your hands.
We would need to see your hands.
So then you got to
what do
throw the gun or
what do you-
drop the gun.
Yeah, do you drop it? That's not what you want to do.
Yeah. And
So-
that same scenario just happened in what, Texas?
Yeah, it happened to Ryan Whitmaker.
Whitmaker, yep.
Yep.
Exact same scenario, except the only thing different that we know was that the neighbor had called in a domestic on him when in fact they were just playing video games.
Yeah, see, that's what we don't really know about the situation, is we don't know why the police were there. Were
the
they
neighbor-
there because they
Oh,
were
here, yeah.
loud? No, we're
You're
talking
saying this
about
story.
this Leesburg
Yeah, we
situation.
don't know why they were there.
So in hand, no. In a holster, yes. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Honestly, if I'm answering the door, if it's that sketchy that I need a gun in my hand, you probably shouldn't be answering the door.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, if you're that scared or if it's 1:30 in the morning and that's really abnormal for you, I don't know what kind of life these people, for some people, 1:30 in the morning, a bang on the door, that could be your buddies. That's not us.
That's not us,
We're
bro.
not, if it's after like 7 o'clock, well, actually Amazon still delivers till like 9.
Do they?
Yeah, we'll get like a little, sometimes they'll do like a little soft knock. But I mean, for me and you, if no one's knocking on our door.
Yeah, no, I'm not a
Yeah,
shit.
it's Walmart
And if
delivery
you ever
or
knock
Amazon.
on my door that late, we will never talk again.
Yeah, and we won't
You are
answer the
dead to
door,
me.
that's for sure.
Yeah, you are dead.
So
to me.
anyways, sad story. I'm interested to find out more about why and what and where for that one.
Is it the police's fault for shooting him?
Well, no, because the thing is, they have to, what we don't understand is they don't know us. So
True.
I come to the door, I have a gun in my hand. They don't know me. They don't know that I'm, you know, just Tiffany, a housewife with, you know, some kids, and I'm never going to shoot anything or hurt a fly. They don't know any of that. They don't know that I'm just terrified and that's why I have a gun in my hand. So when they see a firearm, and we don't know if it was rape, we don't know anything, right?
Yeah, we just know it was in his hand.
Because there's probably no video release yet.
Yeah, no, we don't have a body cam or anything like that.
Because the other guy, we saw the video release at
Right.
least. We saw how it went down, but we don't know enough yet for this story. But this will be something that we keep an eye on and figure out, you know. But what are your guys' thoughts on answering the door with a gun in your hand?
Okay, so Ricky says the deputies knocked on the wrong door.
Oh,
that makes sense. That
okay.
stuff happens all the time.
It does happen, absolutely.
Why are you coming on my private property? Okay, great point.
Well,
But
if it's a cop, they
you-
can come on your property, though.
And you're not allowed to shoot somebody or threaten somebody with a gun just because they're on your property.
Just because they're on your property or knocking on your door, right? And there was another guy that shot that young lady who just needed help that came and knocked on the door, and he shot through the door and killed her. And she literally,
Hold
her
on a
car
second, Tiff.
broke down.
So, no, this was a car accident. 2 young women got into a car accident. One of the girls was severely hurt, and during the accident, they lost their phones. So this young woman, late at night, just imagine somebody who your friend is dying.
Yeah.
You were in a terrible car accident. How that person would bang on the door. You would bang on that door so
you're
aggressively.
panicking, you're stressed. Yeah.
So she's banging on the door, and the homeowner shot through the door
Right
with a
through the door.
shotgun and killed her.
Yeah, and she was barely
Like 18.
Yeah, she was barely.
It was very young.
Yeah. So, I mean, just because someone's on your property, just because banging on your door, I mean, that doesn't give you the right to just shoot through
Like,
your
we need
door.
to slow down and really understand what the hell's
exactly.
happening before you just start blasting people.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So here is another interesting shooting that is getting a lot of traction at the moment. People protesting. I don't know if they're rioting yet, but 2 young teenage men that have just been killed by police. And, you know, they're saying that this is a crime of racism. They're saying that this is racism. This is white versus black.
Well, they're saying that I think that they were shot because they were black. Is that?
Okay, well, that's it,
of,
right? That's
yeah,
it. So that's the way all these things kind of go now. So we're going to watch a video, and we're going to kind of talk about it, and let's just kind of see what we think of the video. So the police suspected this as being a stolen vehicle.
Okay.
Now, at first, Tiffany, I thought the car was pulling into their house, but this is not their house.
Okay.
And then I'm also thinking, the dude driving just doesn't know the police are there.
He doesn't see them, right? So he backs up, but now
Stop
he's
the vehicle.
Now that it's like,
Stop
okay,
the
you know
vehicle.
the cops are
Stop
there.
the
And right now
vehicle.
it's like, okay,
Stop.
shoot, man.
Yeah.
Cops are
He's
here.
got her gun.
10:33.
Now there's a cop on
Stop
far
the vehicle,
left.
goddammit.
And this
Stop.
guy
barely see him.
pulls
Stop.
out, drives right that
Right.
and
Okay.
that's when that other officer opened fire.
Okay.
In my opinion, again,
So you
maybe in the beginning, they didn't know the police were there. That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Like lots of times I've been getting pulled over.
I got pulled over, and he's like, "How did you not notice me for a whole mile?" I'm like, "I'm so sorry." Like, he gave me a ticket. For
You
sure.
just don't notice it, right?
I
So
wasn't paying
maybe that's it.
attention.
But when you're facing forward,
Right.
you know the cop is there.
Yeah, he saw them. So he purposely drove right at the cop.
Right. So he drove over somebody's lawn. Okay. So you're driving off the road at a police officer, and the police officer shoots and kills you. Is that a justified shooting in your opinion?
Well, yes, because a vehicle is, so I know you said they thought that the vehicle was stolen, but they later found out that it wasn't.
No. They've
Oh.
never confirmed
Oh,
that.
they don't know. Okay.
We don't know.
Okay, well, using a vehicle to try and run somebody over is a forcible felony
Yeah, in my opinion.
because that's a deadly vehicle or
You're
a
trying
deadly
to
weapon.
you're trying to run over a police officer.
So if you tried to run over anybody, police officer, you, me, that's a justified.
I would shoot.
That
If
would
you're
be a
trying to run
justified
me
use
over and I
of-
can't get out of the way, I'm shooting you.
Right, so that would be a justified shoot then, in my opinion, because you're using a vehicle, which is a
Yeah,
deadly
and
weapon.
one of the attorney that's filing a lawsuit against these police and against the department or wherever they work or whatever is saying the cops should have never walked up and approached a car. And in my opinion,
But-
that cop. So remember, the young men, they stopped, and that was the moment that I thought they saw the cops. They're like, "Oh crap, the cops are here." You stop. And that's the moment that you got to close the gap, get close to them, and actually start the traffic stop or whatever, right? And remember, if they suspect this is a stolen vehicle, then you're also dealing with criminals, which makes sense on why a gun would be pulled, right?
right.
So inside of this vehicle, the 2 men that got killed, there were 3 young
Okay.
men in the vehicle.
Okay.
2 got killed. One was 18 and one was 16.
Oh,
They found 2 handguns,
okay.
which you're allowed to legally have a handgun in your
At
vehicle
18 years old.
in Florida at the
Okay.
age of 18. So, again, we don't know much yet about these
Okay, so we don't know if
handguns.
they're stolen handguns. We don't know if they have a criminal record and they're not legally allowed to have a firearm. So we really don't know anything yet.
Yeah, so Variant, I think is the name of it, says, how is it not justified?
Well, Jeffrey above said definitely not justified.
Oh, interesting, Jeffrey. Why
So-
definitely not justified? It seems the complete and utter opposite to me. That is
Yeah.
the most justified of
Yes.
shootings.
So your coincidence. Yes. So they were armed because they did find those 2 handguns in the car. We don't know if they were, pointing them, if they're just in the glove box. We don't know any of that yet. But I'm saying just based on the fact of, you get pulled over, and if you try to run a cop over right there, that's where it switches from a normal traffic stop to you just tried to murder someone. So
Right.
now you are committing a forcible felony, which in the state of Florida, oh, don't bang on there.
Stop banging.
Which in the state of Florida would give you right to use or threaten the use of deadly force.
Yeah, I completely and totally agree. But, people are going to go ballistic. Let me know what you guys think down in those comments below. Type either justified or type unjustified. And then we're going to kind of see.
Yeah, and
we'll
we'll have to come back to this because we don't know the full story. It's very preliminary right now.
This is going to be just like every other shooting. It's fascinating, but the George Floyd shooting, right?
Right.
So in the beginning, all they show us is the clip of George Floyd with the officer on his neck.
Right.
And, they conveniently leave out all of that other absolutely critical stuff that happened during that stop.
Right. Because they have to investigate, I guess, and they can't just put it out there right away. But it's hard because no matter which side you're on, thinking it's justified or not justified, it's hard to, just kind of keep your cool and wait till all the evidence comes out before you form an opinion.
But that's the
we
thing,
all
right?
like to form an opinion like right away.
You have to be able to slow down and really think, is this justified or
So there's a couple
not?
people that say
How does it
unjustified.
say-
How did Tampa Carey say unjustified?
Somebody hacked our thing somehow.
That's going to be our kids.
It is our kids. It has to be.
How would our kids hack in
But
on
they're
this?
going to get in a lot of trouble if they are doing that.
I wonder if they have other comments. I mean, yeah, they're going to get in a lot of trouble, but it's kind of funny.
It's not funny because it is a very justified shooting.
Yeah, I
don't want anybody to think
As
that I
far
think
as
it was
now.
unjustified. It was for sure justified.
yeah.
And those cops will walk. Okay, so last thing we're going to talk about. Last kind of big topic is kind of COVID-19 and the correlation with gun control.
Okay.
In this last 2 weeks, these politicians have been telling us that we owe it to our families to not have Thanksgiving dinner. We should not go to Thanksgiving dinner. They're telling us that we should, Oregon is saying you should only have 6 people or less at your Thanksgiving dinner.
Is that what if you have like 6 kids?
That doesn't matter.
Like our friend there's 8 people in their family. What do they do?
Get rid of 2 of them. Abort them, because apparently you're allowed to do that at any age now. So, is that not funny?
No.
So, you're only allowed to have 6 people in Oregon. Governor Cuomo, who is the rock star genius of New York, says you can only have 10. Gavin Newsom is saying 10 people or less. You have to eat outside. But then Gavin Newsom gets caught in California not wearing a mask indoors at a event or whatever at a French laundry restaurant, I guess is the name, very fancy, and not complying with any of this crap. So here's the correlation with COVID-19 and with gun control. We know gun control doesn't work. Do you think gun control works?
Obviously not. No.
We know that it doesn't work. And we know that these politicians believe that there's a different set of rules for us and for them.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Mike Bloomberg lectures us on how we don't need guns while he's surrounded by armed bodyguards.
Security, yeah.
Nancy Pelosi tells us we need to let anybody into our country and walls are racist while she has walls around her house. Mm-hmm. If Joe Biden is elected president here soon, right? If he is the dude, there's going to be a massive push for gun control. And this is the hypocrisy of what they believe. They believe that we have to wear masks and they don't. They believe that we have to avoid being around our families except them.
Right.
They believe that we as the people don't deserve to have guns, but they do.
Right.
Is that not evil?
Yeah.
No comments.
No,
What do you guys
I
think?
just saw the buffering thing, so I was worried about it. But
Oh, somebody said it's buffering.
no, I agree, because that's what has been coming out right on the news and stuff, where we're getting called all these names if you're not wearing a mask, but then Pelosi can go somewhere and not wear a mask, and that's okay.
It's because they don't even believe it themselves.
Right.
That's the issue. They are telling us
Or
to
that's
do
fine
something.
if you feel that way, but then I expect you to not be a hypocrite, and I expect you to do the same thing. If you're expecting me to have only 6 people at Thanksgiving, I expect you to only have 6 people. But who was it that just had a gathering? One of the politicians, I think
Gavin Newsom, California.
Yeah, of California. And
Yeah.
then he just did it. So, I mean, that's just really kind of like an asshole move, right? I mean,
It just shows that you're a
fine
fraud.
that's like the when they had that huge, who was it? Like the green, whatever it was, they had that huge like protest thing where they all met in the park and they all were like, yeah, like change climate, stuff like that. And then they left and there was trash everywhere.
Yeah, it was like an environmental thing. We need to save the earth.
Yeah.
But you left your protest and there's garbage everywhere.
There was so much garbage everywhere. And it's like, really, like you say one thing, but then on the flip side, you do the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's crazy.
so-
Hey, thanks, Dan, for giving the
Thank you,
10 bucks,
Dan.
bud. All right, so
Okay.
if you guys have any questions about Florida concealed carry, drop it
Yes.
inside of the comments.
Thank you, Bill. We
Yes, thanks,
appreciate
Bill.
that.
I agree. He says that is the definition of
Yes.
tyranny. I personally believe the most difficult part about COVID-19 is not the disease, the virus.
Right.
We've already got 2 pharmaceutical companies that have a vaccine that's over 94%
Right.
effective. That's pretty powerful in less than a year.
Right.
The vaccine or the virus is not the issue.
Yeah.
The economy wasn't going to be the issue until Joe Biden got elected, but I don't think he's smart enough to actually deal with the economy. So, so the economy might be an issue. The hardest part about COVID-19, in my opinion, is going to be taking the power back from these radical politicians. And that's why I'm so happy that we have such an amazing governor like Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, I agree.
Protecting us, because he is really standing up to this nonsense when a lot of other politicians are just, they really are becoming dictators, which is scary.
Yeah, you know, you have to let the people decide what's best for them. And that's
That's the point.
You can
if I want to go to a baseball game and sit shoulder to shoulder with 1,000 other people, that's my choice. Like,
Right.
we live this liberty or death. That means let me be free. And if I die, I die. So let me live my life. I don't need you governing my life.
Yeah, and if you know, if you're at risk or if you have concerns about your family, absolutely stay inside. There's great services like Walmart delivery and Amazon delivery and stuff like that, and I totally respect that. And if you want to wear a mask, I totally respect that as well. You know, you are able to do, that's the great thing about America, is that you can do what is best for you and choose what's best for your family.
That's what used to be great about America, but it is rapidly changing.
Yeah.
So, at this point, we all have COVID. Yeah, and that's also what's really comical is that people think they can just hide forever. Everybody is going to get
Well, that's the thing. I believe that COVID is real. I mean, it's a real thing.
We all
I
know
think
that,
we can
yeah.
all agree. The thing is, though, is that it's like you really can't hide from it forever. Like one of my friends posted on my Facebook group saying, "Wow, it's interesting to see you guys at the little rodeo farm. When everything here in Manitoba is closed."
No. Tell everybody, what was the article you were reading me about Canada, about what they're shutting down in stores?
Oh,
You can't
okay.
sell
So
certain
just
things.
wait. So, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, we were closed down. Everything was closed down in March till like what, June or something. Like only the essentials was open, and it's still going to go through everybody because no matter it delayed it, but no matter what you do, I can stay home and never go anywhere. But Walmart delivery is coming. There's no way to just stop it completely. So eventually, it's just going to make its way around, whether it does it in a few months or a whole bunch of months or whatever.
So I found it really comical while we're on this trip over the weekend. So they're super COVID sensitive, right? Every time I would pay for something with my credit card, they would wipe it down with wipes. But did you realize, Tiffany, that the pen that they had everybody sign their receipts with, they never wiped?
Yeah, because it was right there.
You're an idiot. Okay? So this is
mean,
the hypocrisy of the stupid people.
But they're just doing their job. They're doing what they're told to do.
I get it.
So
but it does
anyway,
nothing.
this is what they're doing in Canada. This is what the Prime Minister just said is going to happen, is that you can sell essentials only, but if you're a store like Walmart or Superstore, Canadian Tire, anything like that, you have to take down everything, toys or whatever that is non-essential, or you have to completely tape off those areas. So you can only buy something essential, and you're required to take those.
You want to know what's essential for me as a dad? My kids being quiet while we're working.
Right.
So if you're expecting in Canada parents to homeschool their children, we still have to work. So parents have to work from home. You have to school your children from home. And I'm not allowed to buy a coloring book, a toy to say, hey.
Or what if it's their birthday? You can't go in the toy aisle to buy, their birthday gift. So just some of it doesn't make sense because I'm still going to the store to get milk and eggs. So whether I go to the store to get milk and eggs and a toy.
And we still buy our kids treats and stuff, right? Like if you're being good, or my kids earn money by doing chores and stuff, if they want to spend their money on a little knick-knack toy, they're allowed to. The pandemic has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Hey, your MacBook's going to go to sleep. It must have got unplugged. Yeah. So I'm going to say again, because we're going to give away.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's working or not. Post a comment if you guys can see it. Go on to YouTube, Tiffany, please, and tell me if the new stream is up.
I didn't get a video, or I didn't get an email.
Okay, YouTube looks like it's back up for a couple people. Just had a bit. Okay, so it's back. Believe so. All right. Sorry about that.
That was totally Ryan's fault. I don't know what he did, but I blame you. 100%.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I concur.
Yeah, well. All right, guys, if you have any questions about Florida concealed carry, laws, whatever.
Or what side of the bed Ryan sleeps on.
Yeah, post your comment down below. And Pat says, fugging Ryan. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing. I was trying to get the internet connection to be better so it wouldn't lag. These new MacBook Pros are so dumb because they only have 4 ports on them. Each item has to be plugged into its own port because it doesn't work if it's not. And
so what did you do?
I wanted to see if the battery would last long enough. It doesn't. We learned that.
Yeah.
And I had it plugged straight into the Ethernet cable. So I guess that means I actually do have to buy that $2,000 computer.
No. Figure out how to not unplug it.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay.
All right. So Kyle was armed illegally, so the courts might make an example at him. Right. Kyle was not armed illegally.
I thought in that state.
Kyle acquired the firearm in wherever he was, Wisconsin. Okay. You're allowed to open carry a firearm at the age 17, the age that he's at in Wisconsin. So that's all fine. All that stuff is easy.
But I thought he went to a different state.
He didn't. He lives in Illinois.
Gotcha.
He drove to Wisconsin for the event, and that's where somebody gave him the gun.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's not going to be the issue.
Okay. We know Ryan sleeps on the couch.
Never.
Ryan would actually never sleep on the couch. So if we don't do that game because we've been married for too long, and we both really like our bed. So neither of us would go sleep on the couch if we were fighting.
I also know that I can handle stress in a level that Tiffany can't. And if she was really mad at me, I'd just say, go stay at your sister's or something. And
yeah, but I would rather sleep in my own bed. So. And
honestly, we prefer to just talk about it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we freed Kyle. Welcome to Venezuela, buddy.
Does Florida have red flag laws? Yes, they do.
Yes, Florida does have red flag laws, and Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd is a massive believer in the Florida red flag laws. One guy who was like in his 80s here in Florida.
That's what I was saying about Judd. He is a supporter of the red flag.
Very much so.
Yes.
Very much supporter of the red flag laws. So this one guy, he's like in his 80s, caught his wife cheating, okay? And went to a gun store, bought a gun, and casually mentioned to somebody that he needed the gun to level the playing field with his wife's new lover. And he was red flagged, arrested, all of his guns taken away just for that. That seems pretty silly to me. Seems pretty silly.
Well, it does seem silly. Screen is buffering. Hope not. It seems silly, but it's also a stupid thing to say, though, when you...
Yeah, and I can't read what that says right there. Raven or Ravner,
Oh, so
77.
bummer. Red flag laws are completely unconstitutional. 100% agree.
I think so, but several courts in Florida have ruled that they are constitutional. I'm curious if this is ever going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court, but with Sleepy Joe Biden in office, he's going to pass a massive federalized red flag bill, and it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough.
I agree that Grady Judd is awesome. However, he is a supporter of red flag laws. So if you think that red flag laws are good, then yeah, then he's great. I think he's great on a lot of aspects. I really do. I think he's wonderful. However, there are a couple things. I know there was something after the Parkland shooting that he voted on too. I can't remember what it was.
He doesn't get to vote. He's
or
just
whatever it was.
Yeah.
He talked about. I'm pretty sure he was also in agreement to raise the age to 21.
Probably.
So there's a few things, and if you're okay with that, then fine. I'm not, no one's perfect, but those are a few things that Grady Judd, I'm surprised because he is such a pro-gun person, or he talks about it, that he's, all for red flag laws. So, anyway.
Okay. Cosmo After Life says, is it true that Biden will begin demanding for people to begin registering their rifles? Heard it on the news this morning.
Oh,
yeah. So one of the things that Biden is talking about is that if you own an AR-15, high capacity magazines, whatever, that you would have to pay a tax stamp, and those items will become registered under the National Firearms Act, which is going to be a big deal. That's a huge limitation on us. That is unconstitutional because the Supreme Court has already ruled that they are of common use at the time, at which the NFA bill says that they're for guns that are not in common use, unusual guns, and an AR-15 is definitely not that. So there'll be a big legal battle. But there's only
the registration is just the beginning, though. We know that from Canada. Registration is the beginning.
Of what?
Of taking your guns away. So again, registration. So that would have been about probably 20 years ago in Canada, I would say, because I remember when it first came out. So register your firearms, no big deal, but you have to register them or else you get like a fine, or, like they make it big enough where people get scared. So they do register them.
So there's this video floating around of a Jewish woman, an older Jewish woman, talking about what happened in Germany during the 1930s. She said the German government, they said, hey, listen, we are having all these crimes, murders, all these things are happening with guns.
So it's packaged.
And we don't have a way to track what is happening. So we need you to register your guns so that we can track the criminals as they're doing things. So she said, we all agreed. It makes sense. It's going to reduce crime, so we need to do it. So they go into the police station, they register their guns. Then they said, wait a second, that didn't work. So we cannot track the guns anymore. To keep you safe from the criminals, we need you to give us the guns. So then they give up their guns because the government already knows that they're, that you have them.
And if you don't, too bad, you're already on the books.
Yeah. So they give them up, and then wouldn't you know, a few short years later, they're all becoming victims of massive genocide. Now, is that going to happen in America? Probably not. It's likely not going to happen.
Not the same way.
But I do believe it's just one more grab for power, and that's really what they want.
So in Canada, that's the way it started. That was 20 years ago, whatever. But just, what was it? In April, Trudeau said, you've got to give up any type of, it's like a ridiculous amount of guns. And if you have 2 years to turn them in. And if you don't, you will be fined, I think, $10,000 and however much jail time. So now Canada is in the spot where they are giving you the option to turn your gun in or
go to jail.
Yeah. And everybody's registered. Everybody's had to, do all kinds of paperwork so they know exactly who has what.
Yeah. So I lost a comment because there's just too many posting, but somebody said, do you believe there's going to be a civil war? I believe we are on the cusp of potentially a civil war.
It depends.
I think we are. Here's the reality, actually. The war already started. We are already at war. this second civil war that many patriots and many gun owners talk about, it begun a long time ago.
It began.
Whatever. The Civil War started when these tech monopoly companies started censoring gun people like me. I don't know if you guys listened to, what the hell's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. And they asked him about Cesar or something like that, like some computer program that apparently several of these big conglomerates are using
Twitter,
to identify which companies are going to censor and block the content from those people.
Yeah.
And, you know, because of this ridiculous 203 regulation, we're not allowed to sue them. This is where the Civil War started. Ray of South Florida Living. This is it's not even silent. This shit is out in the open. We all know it's happening.
Yeah.
But many people don't perceive it as a war. This is an information
war. Correct.
They are controlling the information.
Yes.
They are controlling what people hear and see. We want to talk about election interference. The election interference is happening from Twitter, from Facebook, from Google, and all of these social media companies. They are the ones interfering with our election, and it is absolutely bullshit.
Right.
So the war has already begun, people. The war has started. Will bullets start flying? I don't know. I don't want that to happen ever in America because it would be horrific.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen, but, you know, like I said last live stream, you either live for something or you die, you fall for anything.
Yeah, so what needs to happen is we need to start standing up and actually fighting for our rights, and not fighting, you know, with physically, but actually getting together and getting on our politicians and, you know, really pushing for our rights and for these big tech companies and stuff to not have, what's that?
Yeah, and you know what's also
like that.
To not have this much control.
But we have to speak up, because what's happening is they are speaking up way more on this side. There are way more influencers, way more things happening on this side that's in people's face.
Because we get shut down.
I know we get shut down.
Because we say one thing as a conservative or as a pro. Here's the comical part. We all saw this coming, right? So with the election, the week leading up to the election, they're boarding up windows. They're shutting down businesses. They're bringing in the National Guard because they're so concerned about rioting. And then on election night, pretty much looks like Joe Biden won.
Right.
Okay? The day after the election, pretty much looks like Joe Biden won. Was there any riots? Was there any protests? Everybody said, people were coming to our concealed carry class saying, I'm so concerned that conservatives are going to riot and hurt people. When has that ever happened?
Yeah.
They weren't boarding up businesses for conservatives. They were boarding it up because if Trump would have won, if this would have been another 309 electoral votes to 176, they would have burned this country to the ground.
Yeah.
They weren't boarding it up for people like me. They were boarding it up for people like you who are not willing to just accept reality, right? It's okay. If Joe Biden's the president, I'm okay with that. We're going to pray for him. Yeah. We're going to help that he has a good, healthy life, that he makes good decisions, and that he leads our country to success.
Exactly. Because there's nothing else that we can do.
Yeah.
Right. And doing the other thing, you know, bashing him all the time and just going after him is not going to do anything.
No, still hold him accountable.
Yeah, hold him accountable. Absolutely. So somebody just said Gun Owners of America. Yes. Ryan and I are members of Gun Owners of America. We think they're a great organization, and
they do a lot. They file lawsuits all the time.
We definitely think that that everybody should, you know, throw a few bucks their way, because we need big companies like that to fight for our rights.
Anyone think it's odd that he never campaigned and won? Yeah, Linda, that is extremely shocking that somebody can have that much of a lay down campaign, just lay down and do nothing, and still win a presidential race. Somebody 2 weeks.
Do you like Joe Biden? No.
2 weeks before the election, Joe Biden said that he was running for president against George Bush. You don't even remember who you're running for office against. Okay, so Life Perspective says he's a member of Gun Owners of America. That's awesome. Pat said cheats. Maybe. I think so, personally, but we need to have a lot of evidence of that. All right.
We'll see. Here, I saw Lincoln Tifton posted, Tiff, I have a Florida concealed weapons permit and a medical marijuana card. What are the rules? So you can have a Florida concealed weapons permit and you can have a medical marijuana card. However, if you have a
now you're not talking to the mic, so
ooh, hope you guys can hear me. However, if you have a medical marijuana card, then federally you are going to be a prohibited person from ever owning or touching a firearm or ammunition. So marijuana is legalized medically in the state of Florida, but gun laws are a federal. So yes, you can have both. I can apply for, I already have a concealed weapons permit. I can go get a medical marijuana card, or opposite, if I have a medical marijuana card, I can go get a Florida concealed weapons permit, because those don't check each other because of HIPAA. However, if you should have to use your firearm in self-defense, and if they do a drug test or find out that you have a medical marijuana card, they can use that against you, because now you went from being a legal gun owner to being an illegal prohibited gun owner who just used, a firearm in self-defense. So now you are a legal concealed carrier, where now you are concealed carrying a firearm illegally.
Right. Which also means the Florida Stand Your Ground law no longer applies to you.
No longer applies to you, because if you're doing something illegal, then you can't.
Yeah, Liberty Revolt says Nikki Fried has both. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why we need to vote that chick out of office.
We know that she has both. And like I said, you can have both.
Hypocrite.
However, federally, it is illegal. So it's a stupid law. It's a stupid cross between state and federal. But it is the law. So I don't take that chance. Ryan has a lot of back problems and stuff like that, and you'd probably want a medical marijuana card. I don't know, would you?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So
what is that called? Man, what is that stuff all the rappers talk about?
I don't know. I don't listen to rappers. I'm like,
I got the perfect. I actually own the website right now. I own the website.
Oh my god.
What is this? Iguana Sunshine? Iguana Sunrise? I own it right now. Me and my brother bought it because we're like, this is the perfect name of a marijuana strain. So one day we're gonna have a marijuana strain. We're gonna call it Iguana Sunrise, and we already got the URL.
Oh,
one step down.
Oh god.
Okay. Jason Walker keeps asking me, do I know anybody that has a 6-hour P226 Nightmare? I don't, buddy, but Gunbroker. Gunbroker is the best place to buy that stuff.
Yeah, right now you're going to pay a little more, but whatever. If you can wait.
Yeah, I tried smoking CBD cream one time, and it just gave me a migraine.
You're not supposed to smoke. What? You're not supposed to smoke that. Oh. It's a cream. Haha, you're not funny. Okay. My body, my choice. Yeah, I agree.
I agree, man. Listen, I'm a supporter of marijuana. Listen, I don't think it matters.
We're just sharing the law. I'm not against it. I think, God made it, whatever. I don't smoke it because...
And man enhanced it.
Because I used to do that stuff when I was younger, and I just couldn't do it now because I'm a mom now, and Okay.
Okay, we're not giving that away yet. Yeah. I want to read some of these mean tweets. Mean comments that people have about me. I think this is really funny. It's going to be a new segment of our show.
This is going to be a new segment that we're going to do.
Mean comments.
Jackson's asking for more chocolate because he asks for chocolate all the time. Go ahead. Go sit down now. Okay. So Elliot Ness says this to you, Ryan. This is probably a good video, but I don't care. F you. You effing bigot. Never mind. Good point.
So what video was that on?
That was on the what Joe Biden means for gun control.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why he thinks I'm a bigot because of that video, but whatever.
But it was pretty funny. This is probably a good video.
So I must have made a good point that changed him into a believer at that point.
Yeah. So, okay. Cole.
Pat says, give the kid the chocolate.
Yeah. I know. It's vacation, so no rules, and they know that. So they're asking for all kinds of stuff. Okay. Cole Pasiek says, stop giving people horrible liberal advice.
I am the furthest thing from a liberal, by the way.
Okay, this is on Ryan's video about what to do when rioters attack your car. Okay? Stop giving horrible liberal advice. Run those Fs down. As many as you can at highway speed.
Okay, but again, you are what are giving conservatives a very bad name.
Yes.
So I'm a very strong conservative. But I truly believe that you have your own right to have your own opinion. That's what the Constitution says, right?
Yeah.
And I also, regardless of what you're protesting or what you're doing, I don't think we should run you over and hurt you at 90 miles an hour. However, you're standing in front of my car. I'm driving over you at 10 miles an hour, and you can get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Or you can get run over. That's your choice.
I
right?
agree. Okay. Devin Royer says, small dick energy coming from this guy.
It's average. So I've done some research. It's average.
Are you average?
I don't know. You tell me.
No comment. Okay. So S. Lopez says, for starters, stop calling them protesters, you dickhead. This is a snowflake video to humanize rioters. For the rest of us American, remove the safety, pull the trigger, repeat until satisfied area is safe. All of us who have seen what these rioters do, we've seen the videos. Stop pretending any of this shit is peaceful and stop watching CNN, you sheep.
I have never watched CNN after I got out of the military. It was always on CNN when I was in the military. But after that, man, I don't understand how that organization will go out of business if Trump's out of office because they're going to have nothing else to talk about.
I have to agree. You know, when I went to the hotel the other day, I went down to get my breakfast and I sat at the little table there and they didn't have any hot breakfast like they said on their website because of COVID. So all they had was a banana and an apple and some raisin bread.
But, you know, somebody else brought up Jenny from Universal made a good point. She said, you know, McDonald's says we're no longer serving breakfast or lunch until noon because of COVID. What the hell does that have to do with COVID?
Are you serious?
Yes, whatever. I don't know the number or whatever, but that's the nonsense, right?
But they serve so they don't shut down.
But that's the point.
Okay. So that's like closing things after a certain time, right?
Yeah.
Or blocking
It's
off
because COVID
things.
is the excuse. Gun control is the excuse.
Okay. Okay, so Lynn May says, you gun nuts are absurd. Less guns means less killing, especially assault weapons, which are for war, not for hunting.
And assault weapons account for less than 4% of
because assault
firearm
weapons are
death
not even real.
every year.
Are you dickheads at war with your fellow Americans? I guess you are. Okay, this is my favorite one.
Okay.
Want to hear it?
Yes. Is it going to make me cry?
No.
Okay, go.
It's a nice one that I snuck in here. So it said, you guys are awesome. My girlfriend loves when your wife takes over your videos. She's a badass. I don't think I've ever been called a badass before. I'm such a softie.
Yeah, Tiffany's a softie.
I'm a real wussy. But those are some of the awesome comments that Ryan gets. Pretty funny. I couldn't find the go eat a cheeseburger one. That's a pretty funny one.
And you're right, it might be less than 2%. I don't remember the number exactly right now, but the number's freaking low.
But it's not even an assault weapon. It's an AR-15, which everybody seems to think stands for assault rifle.
What does it stand for?
It stands for Armalite, right?
It does. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just testing you.
No, I knew it, but all of a sudden, the way you looked at me, I was like, oh crap, he's going to catch me here. Just like the other day, Ryan caught me farting.
Yeah. So I hear the kids, they were like, was that the duck? And I was like, what the hell was that? Yeah.
He goes, what the heck? You haven't farted in front of me in 17 years, and all of a sudden, like 2 times in a week.
Yeah. So, looking for a new wife. If you're interested.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I think it's just age.
El Nino.
I think it's just age.
You just given up?
Well, no, I didn't give up. This is the problem. You know, you squeeze your butt cheeks kind of, and you think it's going to be quiet.
Yeah.
So Ryan's in the other room, and I kind of think it's going to be quiet, and then it's not so quiet, and I get busted. So I think it's age.
Women don't fart. I've been telling
everyone knows that. Exactly. Yeah. TMI.
Okay. All right. Let's do some giveaways. Let's do the range kit first.
Okay.
So first.
So if you want this, just comment range. Just comment range there. You didn't fart in a bag, did you? No. I wasn't that sophisticated. Okay. So just comment range to win the range book or range kit.
Range kit.
So this comes with the glasses, the boar snake, the bag, and the earmuffs. So this is a good Christmas.
It is a very nice kit. It's a good Christmas gift.
It's a good Christmas gift. If you've already got one, it's the perfect little Christmas gift for someone. So Ryan's gonna pick someone for that. And I just want to say to you guys, because, hey, it's Thanksgiving. We're not going to see you till after Thanksgiving. So I hope that everybody has an amazing holiday and enjoys some family time, even if it's over 6. And we're going to have how many? We're
Because
going to have
we don't
7.
comply with stupid rules.
Yeah. So I hope everybody is safe and has a wonderful Thanksgiving, though. This is my favorite time of year. Absolute favorite.
Yeah, Tiffany
So,
likes it.
yeah. I like decorating and I love to cook. So very cool. All right. Pick somebody, Rye.
Okay, let's see here. We got lots of people, lots of good names. Oh, let's see some people that I've never. I don't know if I can pick some of these.
No, you got to just
aggressive
scroll
ones.
and then stop.
Okay, just scroll and stop. That makes sense. Facebook user. I guess we can't pick that one. Okay, Nelson Alvarez. Have we picked that guy before? No, Nelson Alvarez. All right, Nelson Alvarez. Simply send us an email to classes@tampacarry.com.
So classes, CLASSES @tampacarry.com. Just say, I won the range kit. Give me your name and your address.
And your social security number. And we have to hold it with your credit card number.
Yeah. And I'll send that out to you again. So just send an email to classes@tampacarry.com. If you happen to lose that or can't figure it out, just go to tampacarry.com, hit the contact us and send me an email. I'll get that email right away and confirm that I received it. Okay.
Yeah, so Bob says we're having a funeral for the turkey. So when we went to the petting zoo at this place on Friday, there were like pigs and stuff. And then we were eating, they had a barbecue restaurant there. And I ordered pulled pork and some other stuff, right? And I said, hey, kids, do you remember that pig that we saw at the petting zoo? And they're like, yeah. And I said, this is that pig. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, no, this is it, man. And they were all pretty cool with it. So we didn't get a video of it, but what did I eat today?
What did you eat today? Oh, Ryan ate a worm, an earthworm. We were fishing, and he told Paisley, I'll give you $100.
I told the kids as a group, I said, I will give any one of you kids or all of you kids $100 if you swallow one of these earthworms. And Paisley Paisley is highly motivated by money. So she started working herself up. She got it into her mouth a few times. She even tried to swallow, and then she just kept spitting it up.
She did really amazing. For an 11-year-old girl to stick a wiggling live worm in her mouth.
And finally, she was like, why don't you do it? And I said, fine, I'll do it. So I grabbed a worm. I chucked it in my mouth, swallowed it. Yeah. And then she was like, come here, Paisley.
Yeah. She did really good.
Hair real quick.
She was really trying to impress Dad.
You did do a very good job. I'm very proud of you.
No, because Mom kept saying...
You got to talk into the mic.
Mom kept saying, you can't do it, you can't do it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it.
I didn't say you can't do it. I was like, I wanted to save the $100. I didn't want to pay the $100, to be honest, because Ryan always they'll do it for $20. Why go to $100?
Yeah, I do have a bad problem with that.
$100 is a lot of money.
A lot of motivation. Nobody did it, though, so I should have offered something more. But I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. That's yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to give away this range bag, not this range bag, this it's called nut sack, see? Nut sack bag. So it's top grain leather. It's a really, really nice bag made here in the U.S.
Has Molly on the inside.
It's actually fairly lightweight, I have to say.
Super high quality.
High quality bag would make a
I would have kept it,
Christmas gift.
But my new laptop does not fit in it.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. So now it's going to get passed on to you guys. So now she's so cute. Yes, she is. What I want you to say, wait, don't type nutsack, even though I think that would be really good and really funny to see all those comments, nutsack. Instead, type your favorite Thanksgiving dish. That's what I want you to type. Whatever that is, your favorite Thanksgiving dish. And then we're going to pick, I don't know, people are saying this is rigged. I don't know why they say it's rigged when we just pick somebody randomly. But
because these are the same people that complain about everything.
It's not rigged. We just literally are going to scroll and then stop on someone because I don't care who gets it. I wish that you could all win, but unfortunately I don't got enough money.
Unfortunately, it's America and not everybody wins.
It is kind of a man purse. Yep. Stuffing. Oh, I make the best stuffing. I make cranberry apple stuffing with rosemary.
No, the best thing that you make, Tiffany, is those meatballs.
Oh.
What are the meatballs? Chili and grape jelly?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
So
it sounds gross.
It's chili sauce and a cup of grape jelly. And then, but I make the meatballs really good. Like I put a lot of good stuff in it. And then you just put that in the slow cooker. Oh, it's a great recipe.
It's so
everybody's
good,
favorite.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's like sweet and sour meatballs.
Yeah. And the cranberries. So my tradition as a kid, the cranberries were always, the cranberry jelly was always in the shape of the can still. That's how it was served to us.
So gross.
And the yams were always burnt. Always. It was just like, it just happened every year.
Yeah, it's really nasty because he just wants me to make just the cranberry with the jelly, and not even the whole cranberry one. That's the best. No, he just wants the jelly, and he wants it the shape of a can.
Yeah. All right, so you're gonna pick. I'll scroll. Boom.
Okay,
stop.
Okay, I'm gonna go for can't even see. So Carlos Garay. Carlos Garay. Corn casserole.
Okay, you pick Carlos just so people wouldn't think we're racist, huh?
Shut up. You say that every time. Okay, so Carlos, no, he was the first one that I could actually see here. Corn casserole. Carlos Garay. Send me an email to classes@tampacarry.com. And I thought I said it wrong. And you won the nut sack. Woohoo! All right.
So to actually claim this prize, Carlos, you're gonna have to text me a picture of your actual nutsack.
Shut up. Ugh, gross. You're gonna get it. Somebody's gonna text that to you. Actually, people only have my phone number.
I know.
So now I'm gonna
We do that for a reason around here.
I'm gonna get a nutsack picture.
No, it's really funny. I don't know if we've told this story. I'm sure we have, but our live stream,
the election was rigged. Yes, the election was.
So our live chat feature, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and we forgot to turn the live chat off. So I you hear it dinging. So I jumped up and I come out here and I'm like answering this person's question. And it's a picture of a beautiful brunette woman, right? And this person says, in the live chat, you're talking to somebody who you think the name is Tiffany. It's a picture of Tiffany. And the person says, show me your boobs.
Yeah.
So my idea was I should have just showed the guy my nipple, and realized this is a man with hair only around my nipple at 11 o'clock at night.
No, like 4 hairs around your nipple.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It was really funny. So anyway, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Join us next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, Pat. We're looking at the feed. We have the whole feed here.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah.
So we're excited. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a great
Be
night.
safe.